Hey guys, Susan here. I am coming to you, speaking to you again on cancer and what I have seen, what I have experienced. And so maybe my words can help someone else. As a caregiver, and as a caregiver only, the patient is my husband. And so we realized when this came in play, 2015, it wasn't just a back pain. It led to something that was much more serious than we could even imagine. And so 2015, he came home with a very, very bad back pain. And so now we're realizing later it wasn't just the back pain, it was a back and spinal pain. And so when Clyde came home, of course, when you see your husband coming home or a loved one coming home in that much pain, you want to first get them to the hospital, in which I did. And so we went to the hospital. Of course, their rule of thumb was muscle spasm. And so later we found out it was not so. And so all of the medicine, all of the pain medicine that the hospital would first diagnose you with is a muscle spasm without even going into the detail, further going into the detail. And so all of the pain medicine that you go through and have to buy and purchase just because they feel like it's just a muscle spasm, it went on for weeks and weeks and months. No such thing. It was not muscle spasm. And so thereafter, he went to a chiropractor to see if he can kind of, because when someone say muscle spasm, what's going on with the muscles? Maybe we need to massage it out. Maybe we need some therapy, get some therapy in that back. We went there. It went on for about 3-4 weeks. And she said, listen, what I'm doing to you, you should really feel better. He was not feeling better at all. She then said, hey, something else is going on. You need to go to a specialist to see what's going on. Because if you're not feeling better after, the therapy, something else is going on. In fact, something else was definitely going on. And so he went to see a back surgeon, in which, guys, I can't even imagine how he was moving around with a broken bone in his back that was touching his nerve. So this broken bone in his back, spinal, touching a nerve, that is where that pain comes from. I can't even imagine just going through months, walking around trying to deal with this. And some of the things may smooth it over, may comfort it, but you still had that bone touching that nerve. And so, yes, we went on with the back surgeon. He did a balloon, concrete, some kind of something. But it took away the pain. And so what they did is they did a plasma that took the bone or lift the bone off the nerve. And that's the surgery that he had. And so that gave him some comfort. He went back and forth looking at the results and everything. And so the doctor did determine, hey, I see something here. I'm going to go ahead and refer you to a doctor so that they can take a look at the mass on the report and determine what's going on with you, because you do have a mass back there in the same spot. And so he did go. He went to a hematologist, Dr. Tache, somewhere in Fort Lauderdale, who he still sees today. Very good. And so Dr. Tache he went ahead and had Clyde to do all kind of x-rays, MRI, and yes, it came back as multiple myeloma. And so that's how it started, 2015. And so 2015 is when it happened, sometime in May. He was diagnosed with multiple myeloma 2015 August. And so it took that long, guys. It took that long from May to August to realize you have a serious condition. So all this other stuff that you have done that you're doing didn't help. So the root of it is multiple myeloma. And getting back to the point where they said, oh, it's just a back pain or back pain. This was a back and spinal. We had the bone touching the nerve. And so that's a back and spinal pain. And so got that done. Went to Dr. Tache. Of course, you know, the first thing that they start you off is radiation. Went through that. That went on, you know, for a month or so. And he rang the bell. Bing, 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 bing. Ching, 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 ching. Ring that bell. And guess what? He finished that. He finished his radiation. And after the radiation, he started taking chemo right after that. Just to balance. They want to balance and they want to see the numbers. And so, of course, the chemo came in place. And shortly after, I think it was 2018 is when he first did his stem cell transplant. So February 2018, he did the stem cell transplant. That went on for years and years. Of course, once the months go by and the years go by, you know, if your numbers start increasing again, you're going to need to take some chemo. And so they got him back on the chemo. And, you know, it only lasts for so long. And so they said it, you know, about 4 or 5 years, you would have to do something all over again. And just as sure, 2021, he had to do a second stem cell transplant. So that's 21. And so now today, we're going through this all over again. But they would not give him the stem cell transplant. They gave him a CAR T cell therapy. And so this is a newer version of the stem cell. And so what has taken place as of today, well, he did that stem cell, CAR T cell. He did that on July 1st, on my birthday. And so we got that done and over with. He's fine. Those white T cells came back into life, came back into play, and they are working as they should. And so he is still not out of the woods, but he is doing so much better. He's feeling better. He's up and around, walking. He is still in the hospital at the University of Miami Cancer Comprehensive Center. He's still there. He got about, another 3, maybe 3.5 weeks, but his numbers is coming back so good until they may even let him come home a little early. And so although he may be coming home a little early, or he may come home on schedule 4 weeks, when he get home, that is the play. That's the playbook, honey. We got to see how well you're going to take care of yourself, how well the caregiver is going to take care of you. Eyes on the patient. And so I have to be listening, alert, and eyes on the patient. This CAR T cell, it brings strokes, it brings shingles, your memory can be gone, and so you have to constantly ask them questions. And so I have a very playful husband. So if I say, what color is the sky? He may say brown. You know, he's just that crazy. He thinks everything is a joke. And I guess you have to, maybe that's his way of dealing with his cancer. He is one of the ones that don't sit around the house. He gets up, he moves. So exercising and moving around, I know I don't have a problem with it. Now, the next thing is that appetite is just not there. And so they may have you running all over the world for what they want. And so far I have been doing that, running around the world just to get the items that he want. He don't feel comfortable. He don't like the hospital food. And so yes, since this happened July 1st, I've been running back and forth just for what he wants to eat, not what I want to eat. Who cares about Susan? But I guess the patient does matter. And so we want them to get better. And so we do that. We will run around. We will go get this and that, take it back and forth to the hospital. Mind you, you still have to get up. You still have to take care of yourself. You still may have to go to work. But your tiredness don't matter right about now. And so I try to go ahead and do all that I can do to comfort him, make him comfortable in the hospital. And so when he get home, it won't be so much bad. And so things in restaurants and, you know, things that I can cook, you know, his special soups that he like, all of these things that he likes. Of course he likes them because he's Jamaican / Bahamian. And so it's a good thing. And it's a good thing because all of the soups that he's eating, it has a lot of collagen in it. And so these are the things that's going to help them with their cancer and dealing with, you know, trying to heal. And we want them to heal. And so at least it's not no greasy food that he have me running around, which I wouldn't dare do. And so it's only the good stuff that he's seeking and that he's wanting right now. And so I'll do that. I'll be the person that go and get these things and bring it back to the hospital. But when he's home, when he get home, I'm not sure. I know with the stem cell, he couldn't eat a lot of vegetables, produce, because he couldn't even go into that little section in the grocery store. So I know that they may restrict him from a lot of the vegetables, you know, just because of the parasites. And, you know, just kind of, you know, if you have, you know, meat that you're going to do, we don't eat pork. So just clean it and make sure everything is cooked, prepared for the patient. Okay, and you may want to go ahead and eat some of the patient's food too. Because like I said, if you're doing all of this protein and collagen, you may want to put that in your body as well. And see, I am still learning. We learn about cancer every day. We learn about the new procedures like the CAR T. I am so happy that we didn't change our mind on to getting something else in the place of the CAR T, because that same day, when they put when they put his white blood cells back into him, cleaned them off, made them fighters, honey, he was up sitting in the chair, waiting on me to get to the hospital with his soup after he had that stem cell, that CAR T cell therapy done. And so I looked at him like, hey, are you okay? You up? I mean, you sitting in the chair, you're not even in the bed. I know the last 2 stem cell transplant, you were strictly in the bed. And so I didn't see all of the red blood cells in the bag being, floating through his body and transporting back, the clean blood back into his body. I didn't see any of that. And so it was only the white cells that they took from his blood and they put back in his body. And I was surprised just to see him sitting up in the chair and waiting on his soup. Boy, when I let that little container open, he went at it. And I was so pleased because this is one of his soups that he likes that I can't cook. And so his sister came in from White Plains, New York, and she came with that cow foot soup or cow something, but it has a lot of cow something in it, but it had a lot of collagen. And that's what they need. They need that care. They're needing that kind of food to help them with the proteins and the collagen and just to build up their strength. And I'm so happy that she did come. Because, honey, first of all, I ain't touching too many parts of the cow. And so, thank God she came and she had that stuff already ready. And so he had a good friend of his, mom, she did chicken foot soup. Another thing, I'm not doing it, y'all. So thank God for family. Thank God for friends, who does all of this stuff, that don't mind cooking and getting these special dishes that he like. Oh my God, thank God for family and friends. And see, if you're going through this, you're gonna need family and friends. I don't care how much of a superwoman or a superman you think you are, you're gonna need that help. You think you can run around and back and forth? It's always a blessing to have someone that can cook this stuff for you. All you got to do is pick it up and take it to him and just watch the healing, honey. Watch the healing. And so right now, Clive is doing extremely well. He's up, walking the hallways. Let me tell you, my husband thinks he's so perfect and he's so healthy with all of this going on. He got up in the hallway to do his little exercise, walk up and down, forgot his gloves, forgot his mask. Like, dude, you just got out of therapy. Cell therapy at that. Transferring your cells back into your body, and you walking around without a mask, you walking around without no gloves. They shot his butt right back in the room. Mr. Daly, get your butt in that room and da-da-da-da-da-da. Yes. So you forgot. I mean, you forgot that you just went through something. You forgot to put on your mask and you forgot to put on your gloves. See, that's how psycho this one here. This therapy got him believing, oh, I'm good. Because the last two, I was in the bed. And he's up and around and moving around like nothing happened. And so you got to sit him down and stop him. Hey, you just had this done. Slow down. We need to get you with your mask before you go out in that hallway. I know they want you to exercise, baby, but you got to put on, if you could put on 2 and put on them gloves. He doing it now, but he totally forgot that that was important before he leaves his room. And so thank God we got some terrific nurses out there too. The University of Miami Cancer Comprehension Center. I'm gonna tell you, they're the best. And I tell you, when they come in that room, they check in everything. They trying to make him do all sorts of things. They questioning Clyde, hey, when is your birthday? And of course, his birthday is in October. So he gave him the birthday. And so when you have something like this done to you, they tell you that this is your birthday. This is a new birthday for you. I'm like, hell, well, honey, you got about 4 different birthdays now. 2000 what? 18, 2021, and your original birthday year, and this year. Hey, you was born 4 times now, baby. Anyway, and so this is just going to give you guys something to think about, just in case you have someone that's going through back pain, muscle spasm, who they think they may have muscle spasm. They want to look into maybe a MRI on that back to see what's definitely going on. Like I told you, that bone was broken and touching the nerves, and very serious. And so we want to always take care of ourselves, go to the hospitals. We already know what they're going to rule out, muscle spasm, but you may want to look into it a little bit further. Guys, I wish you all the best. If you're going through this, if you know someone that's going through this, just speak on it. Just let them know it's okay. Even if they start with the stem cell transplant instead of doing the CAR T cell therapy, but all of it is going to help you. And so we know a lot of times in the back of our mind, we always think about finances. Yes, you got to sit down with the financial institute there, office, doctors. They can point you in the right direction. And so don't miss this opportunity, because it's so much that has grown over the scare of having cancer or having any other diseases. It's so much in play now that we can live a little bit longer, and it may give you a couple of 4 or 5 years longer. Hey, we don't know. We just don't know. What you do can be in remission. And so always try to go ahead and do something with your condition. Don't be afraid. If I take a picture of my husband right now, you say, he's not going through nothing. He didn't have anything done. I'm going to tell you, he's a fighter. He gets up. I can tell you, the same day he got up, sitting up in the chair. Never mind the bed. The bed is for when I sleep. But I'm going to sit in this chair. I'm going to watch my television. I can't do too much because I just had the process done. But he is a fighter. And that's the way you have to be if you want to be here. If you want to survive, be that fighter. Go ahead and get it done. Don't worry about nothing. Because God is the greatest. God is our coverage. God is our actually first, second, third, and fourth hand. And he guides and protects us. And so go ahead and do it. Don't be afraid. If you got, some good doctors that you trust, and I'm going to tell you, all of Clive's doctors are the same doctors that's been dealing with him since 2015. Here it is, 2026. Same doctors. He would have it no other way. So I know it's a lot of cancer centers out there, but I'm going to tell you, and I want you to believe what I tell you when I say the University of Miami. Honey, I love them. So go ahead and do it. You guys get healthy, stay healthy, and be healthy. Live healthy. Number 1, live healthy. And so when he get home, I'm juicing up everything. I juiced up for myself. I am 63, just turned 63. July 1st, I am not on anyone's medication. I would eat the dirt from the fruit and the vegetables. It is just that important for me to stay healthy and stay off medication. Mind you, some people have to be on it. I'm not beating it down, but for me in particular, I don't want it. And I'll do everything that I have to do just so that you don't put me on medication. I gotta have a clear head, honey, because my husband has cancer. So somebody got to be the healthy one around here. But anyway, God is the greatest. You guys take care and believe in yourself. God believe in you, so you got to believe in yourself. Do the right thing. Eat healthy. Drink healthy. Stay healthy. I love you.